Welcome to Baz Travels. After driving 14,826 kilometers through 24 states and Washington, D.C., I've seen rocket launches to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. I've explored Route 66, ghost towns, deserts, snow, and beaches on both coasts. From Vegas casinos to Alcatraz, the White House to Hollywood. Join me for a journey of the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Loading destination. Simulation starting in 3, 2, 1. To look around, move your phone or tablet. Click and drag if on a computer or move your head if using a VR headset. Please like and subscribe.
Pueblo's history is shaped by location. Long before it was a city, this area sat as a natural crossroads where rivers, trade routes, and later rail lines converged. That geography made Pueblo useful first, and permanent later. The earliest settlements here grew around the Arkansas River, which provided water, transport, and a reliable corridor through southern Colorado. Trading posts and small communities formed as movement increased between the plains and the mountains. Pueblo didn't begin as a remote outpost, it began as a meeting point. The arrival of the railroad in the late 19th century accelerated everything. Pueblo became a major rail hub, linking mining districts, agricultural areas, and growing cities across the region. Goods moved through here in volume, and people followed. That connectivity turned Pueblo into a working city rather than a single industry town. Steel defined the next chapter. The Colorado Fuel and Iron Company transformed Pueblo into one of the most important steel-producing centers in the western United States. At its peak, steel production dominated employment, identity, and the city's income. Pueblo earned the nickname the Steel City, and it wasn't symbolic, it was literal. That industrial base brought diversity. Workers arrived from across Europe, Mexico, and other parts of the United States. Neighborhoods formed around shared languages, traditions, and labor. Pueblo developed a strong multicultural identity that still shapes its food, festivals, and community life today. The 20th century brought both growth and challenge. As steel production declined nationally, Pueblo had to adapt. Rather than disappearing, the city diversified. Education, healthcare, government services, and cultural institutions expanded to fill the gap. The city learned how to evolve without erasing its past. Natural disasters also played a role. Flooding along the Arkansas River forced Pueblo to rethink its relationship with water and infrastructure. Those moments led to long-term planning decisions that still influence the city's layout and public spaces. What's important is continuity. Pueblo didn't reinvent itself by rejecting its history, it carried it forward. Industrial buildings, rail corridors, and working-class neighborhoods remain part of the city's structure, not hidden or replaced wholesale. Today, Pueblo's history is visible rather than abstract. It's in the street layout, the architecture, the mix of cultures, and the way the city uses its public space. This is a place that grew because it was useful, survived because it adapted, and continues because it understands where it came from. That layered history gives Pueblo its character. It's not polished away, it's built into the city itself.
Simulation terminated. Please comment, like and subscribe.